Today, inshallah, we will talk at first about our subject ICT, and you will know more about it. And after that, I will explain one topic in our syllabus. So at first, we should know what we have in our subject ICT. ICT is an O-level subject, and we have on it 3 papers: paper 1, paper 2, and also paper 3. Paper 1 is a theoretical part or written paper, and you can consider it as 40% of your subject. Paper 2 and paper 3 are practical papers, and both of them, or each one of them, has a 30% of your subject. Also, of course, you know that your schedule for your exams, you know it, according to your, of course. For each one, in which country and what is your zone, to be aware of that. Of course, all of them are near to each other in the exam, but I prefer to know each one in which zone. Fahd, okay. Hi, Fahd. Can you hear me well and you can see my screen share?
I am from Saudi Arabia. I'm Egyptian but living in Saudi Arabia, and I'm sitting in Riyadh.
Okay, who you are, Fahd or Muhammad or Ahmed?
Ahmed.
Ahmed Zakaria, okay. Okay, Muhammad Khalil or Muhammad Khalid? Khalifa, Muhammad Khalifa.
I'm from Iraq. I'm living in Istanbul. I'm in grade 9.
Okay, Nuran. Sama, you are in Saudi Arabia, okay. Nuran. And Fahd.
Hello?
Yes, Fahd.
Yes, Fahd. Can you hear me?
Where you are, you live where?
Wait.
Okay, Fahd, did you hear my question? I asked about where you live to know your zone.
Wait.
Okay, I'm waiting. So I know Sama and Nuran.
Kuwait.
Okay, Nuran, you live in Dubai or where? Okay, so I know all of you now. Only Emirates, but I asked where in Dubai or in another place. Okay, Fahd, I hope that you can write to me where you live. Okay, and then I will say again that we have 3 papers in our ICT subject, and we have 2 practical papers.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Fahd.
I live in Kuwait. I am Fahd and I live in Kuwait.
Okay, Fahd. Okay, thank you. So I will start talking about our subject. As I said, we have on our subject 3 papers. Okay, we have paper 1, and we have also paper 2, and okay. As we said, in paper 1, we have on it as an exam 2 hours, and you will be asked about the 10 chapters about theoretical, and also you will have a question about Word maybe, or SharePoint, but on all exams you can find a question about Excel and a question about Access. In paper 2, it's a practical paper. You will do it on your computer, and in that paper you will be asked about Microsoft Office Word and or documentation, and also you will be asked about database or Access, and also presentation. Okay, so that 3 topics or that 3 programs, you will be asked about it in paper 2. And in paper 3, you will be asked about data analysis and website authoring. And here in Egypt, we work on website authoring on SharePoint. So if you use in your country another program, you can tell me. But of course, Cambridge the course administration or teacher can use another program. So if you don't work about, or if you don't work on SharePoint, you can tell me to work with you on the program which you use, if it was the front page, or if it will be Dreamweaver or any program. I can. We are working on which program you use it in paper 3. Okay, so
Sorry, but I didn't understand anything. Can you repeat?
have a new students, Arwa and Abdullah. Okay, so you work on front page, not SharePoint. Okay, Sama. So I will explain for you that part for you alone, or as a group. If another students will use the front page like you, I will explain that topics for you on front page. If all of you use the front page, no problem. I will explain for each one the program which you will use it. But of course, all of us will be use Office. Some of us will use Office 2030 or 60. I will explain for you anything you use it in your school. Okay, so don't worry about the programs, and don't worry about your syllabus. I am aware for anything you will take it. So for the new students, I will tell you that we have 3 papers, paper 1, 2, and 3. And in paper 2 and 3, you will use your computer because it's a practical exams, but paper 1, it's a written paper, okay? So now I will start explaining a topic in our syllabus to know how your course will be going, and to be aware. But before I will start, I will show you the notes which you can, which I will send it to you to work on it. In my notes, you will find your syllabus, and my notes also you can find after each chapter. You will find the classified about that chapter. I will send it to you, okay? And I hope you to print it and do your homework. And your homework will be corrected. Also, I will ask you to do a homework in the practical part, and you will send it to me on my email to correct it. Okay? So it's an online, but I will check your understanding of my explanation, and also we will go step by step. If you have any problem, you can ask me. If you have anything you want to know, sorry, I will open the microphone for Arwa.
Excuse me, I just want to ask a question.
What?
May I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
What's the difference between computer science and ICT?
This session for ICT.
Yeah, what's the difference between them? What's the difference between computer science and ICT?
The difference between computer science and ICT?
Yeah, and they
Okay,
are accepted in Egypt. ICT is accepted in Egypt, but I will not take computer science.
okay. Yes, the difference between computer science and ICT, we have many differences and many things are the same. For example, if we are talking about computer science as a subject, we have in computer science two papers, and the two papers are written paper. Okay, you will not use your computer in your exam. But ICT, we have three papers, two papers, you will do it on computer because it's practical and only one will be written. This is the first difference. The second difference is that in ICT, you will work on programs like Office package and web design. Excuse me, Ahmed, can you close your microphone and open it when you want to ask? Yes, thank you, Ahmed. So, in ICT, as I told you, you will work on Office package, and also you will learn how you can edit in web page using a front page or SharePoint or a program you can edit on it any web page. The second thing about computer science, in computer science, you will learn in the practical part, but as I told you, you will be asked in your exam in written way, not practical on computer. But in our sessions, we will have a practical on Access, okay? And you will find it in ICT and computer science. But if you learn or studied before ICT, you will find that access in computer science is very, very, very easy. Okay, but also we have a difference between ICT and computer science. That computer science learn you how to be a programmer, but ICT will learn you how to use the computer. User must any user for computer must know how to use Word, how to use Excel, how to make a presentation, and it will give you a little information about editing web page. So when you will see any web page, you can understand how this web page can be created and how you can edit on it. But computer science will prepare you to be a programmer, and it will be very nice if you want to study in the college, for example, computer science or engineering, and also computer science department in faculty of engineering. I didn't told you that I am an engineer. Okay. I graduated from Faculty of Engineering in Shams University. So, as I told you, computer science will prepare you well for that branch of college, okay? Also, we have a difference between ICT and computer science. In ICT, you will use your computer from outside. So you will know types of computer like laptop, like desktop, like mobile phone, like tablet, okay? But in computer science, you will know your computer, how it's work. So you will know more about processor, you will know more about computer language like binary system, and Fahd, I will allow your computer, okay, where you Fahd? Okay, I allow for you your microphone. Sorry. So I was talking about, the difference between ICT and computer science. And I told you that computer science will make you understand more your computer, how it's work, what is the language of computer. But ICT will make you a general. Both of them awesome, and I like them too much. I teach both subjects here in Egypt. So I like that two subject, and also computer science. I like it more than ICT because it's my the thing which I am specialist on it. Okay, but computer science also is a very nice subject, and as I told you, it will make you a general user for your computer. So do you want to ask about anything about ICT or about our papers or anything? I will start now explain a topic in our syllabus, and I will show you how we will answer our past papers. But if you want to ask about anything, you can ask before I will start.
Okay, what do you prefer for us, ICT or computer science?
According to you, not I will tell you what I prefer, because as I told you, ICT will make you a general user. It will make you use your computer and understand everything about computer, but from outside, okay? But computer science will make you understand more about your computer and how it's work. So according you, not me. I can explain both of them to you, but what you will understand. For example, computer science need from you to be can use mathematical calculation well, because in computer science in paper 1 you will solve a lot of Fahd, you can open your mic now. Yes. Oh, Fahd, you have a problem, Fahd? Okay, so what I
No,
was
no, it's fine, thank you.
you asked me about which subjects I prefer. You can select any one of them according you, but as I told you, computer science need from you to use or to make calculations easily for you, because in paper 1 you will answer questions, and that you will use it without calculator. Calculator is not allowed in paper 1 in computer science. So I sometimes find a problem with the students who study computer science and cannot make any calculation. For example, when I ask them 20 over 2 equal what, they will think, and sometimes they think 11, 9, 10. So that type of students, of course, don't think about taking computer science, because computer science needs from you thinking and needs from you to be use your calculation without calculator easily. But again, I must explain that the calculation is not complicated, but at least you should know how to use table 2. That's only, but I sometimes meet students who cannot use table 2, so it was very hard for them, that subject. Okay, so according to you, not me will tell you.
Okay, I just want to raise my score. I need a subject just to take it at easy to take and it stuff. So I just want to take a subject that's not be pressure on me. So
Okay, so if you want to take a subject and you need from it a score, I will tell you that you can take ICT. Why? Because in ICT we have, as I told you, 3 papers. Paper 1, the score will be for it from the marks. I can open it for you to see it. Okay, we have in paper 1 100, and in paper 2 80, and in paper 3 80, and you can get 8 star if you got on your subject, or if you will be minus 80 marks. So if you leave one paper completely without anything, you can get a star. Okay, but if you achieve the highest mark in the other papers, okay. So but yeah, for example, if we are talking about that the subject score will be from 280, if you got 200, okay, you can get a star. But in computer science, the subject mark is 125. To get a star, you must get 105. Okay, so if you are looking for star, okay, you can take ICT, because you can easily get the score on it. And if you leave a lot of things empty in your exam, you can get easily a star. and I get less than an A star before A star, and who didn't attend or didn't make the homework or lazy students only get A. Okay, so if you are looking for a score, you will take ICT. But as I told you, computer science will make you learn more, and it will be suitable for some students, not all students like ICT. Anyone want to ask about anything more?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so
I wanted to
now
ask,
I will start explaining some in our syllabus. Okay. Okay, that's usable after starting our course, and in my notes you will find the class you can solve it. Okay, excuse me. Okay, now I will explain something, and after that we will past papers. Now I will explain a topic in paper 2. It's a Word documentation, okay? As I told you, in paper 2 we have Word, we have Access, and also we have a presentation, okay? Of course, I have my plan, which I will send it to you when we will start our lessons, okay? I will need only 30 sessions to finish my syllabus and to solve our past papers. Okay, so at the start, I will send to you my plan, which we will go on it. Microsoft Word is in our syllabus. We will find it in paper 2. I explain that part in 2 sessions. Presentation, I explain it in 1 session. Excel, I explain it in 2 sessions. Access, I explain it in 3 sessions. And also we have a topic is called mail merge. Mail merge, I explain it in the same session with a presentation because we don't have a lot of information in that 2 parts, mail merge and presentation. So I will need 8 sessions to finish my practical part. The theoretical part, we have 10 chapters. I explain each chapter in 1 session. Only chapter 2, I explain it in 2 sessions, okay? So I need for the practical, for theoretical, 11 sessions. And for practical, 8. So I will finish the syllabus in 19, 8 and 11, 19 sessions, yes. And the other sessions, we will take it to solve a complete past paper. So as I told you, we will take 30 sessions to finish our syllabus and to solve also past papers. And it will be enough. I prefer to finish my syllabus before the first exam with 1 month, okay, to have and to give you time to solve a lot, because in ICT you need to solve a lot in your past paper. It will be it will help you to get A star easily. All of my students, they always think that they will be top achievers because they have when they solve the exams at the end of our course, they turned pages in test paper and they didn't like to answer anything. When I told them, please answer, they told me, no, we know everything, we know everything, we know everything. So I hope you that have the same feeling like my students, and you have you will think about yourself that you will be achiever, and I hope that I have a student as an achiever, top achiever. Okay. So okay, Now I will start, as I told you, to explain a topic in our syllabus, which is Word. Okay, in Word, you should know some things or some topics in that syllabus. We will talk about specific tabs. In Microsoft Office Word, we can find here many tabs like Home, like Insert, like Design, like Page Layout, like Mailing, like Review and View. Preferences, we will not talk about it in our syllabus. Okay, so at first I will talk about the Page Layout tab. In Page Layout tab, it's you shouldn't know everything in each tab. Of course, I will explain what we have in our syllabus. Okay, what we have in our syllabus in the Page Layout tab, we should know the size. What is the size of our page? The size is the size of the page which you will print on it. So when you are writing in your Microsoft Office Word, and if you want to print on A4, A4 is the size which all of us know it and use it. But A3 is larger than A4, and A5 is smaller than A4. Okay, and you can find the dimension of each size written under the page size. So for example, if I want to make or to print that things which I wrote it on Microsoft Office Word on page size A5, so I must choose the page size as A5, okay? If I want to print on A4, you can choose the page size A4. So as I told you, the page size, we use it according to what we will print on it. What is the size of the page which you will print on it? The second thing, we will talk about it in Page Layout tab, or two things, landscape and portrait. Okay, so I will make the view of my page, one page. If you can see, that page is landscape. We have in our page, one will be less than other side. This side is the smaller than that side. So if we want to print our paper and to be in that way in reading, we will print it as a landscape. But if we want to make it as a long one, okay, we will use the page orientation as a portrait. So we have in page layout two orientation, portrait and landscape. Okay, that according to you want to print your page, and when you want to read it, you want to read it in that way or in that way. Okay. Another thing we will know it about page layout tab. Yes.
So in like in orientation, you change how the page looks like by clicking one page and then clicking landscape or portrait, right?
Yes, and also you can make in the same document page or portrait and another page landscape, but that is not in your syllabus. Of course, when I will explain for you, I will explain for you the things which you have it in your syllabus, and after that we will solve our past paper to know more. But I will not give you many information that you will not need it in your exam. So you can choose the orientation of your page if you want it portrait or landscape. Another thing you should know about it in your paper that we can find here a blank page around your a blank area around your page. This area we
I can't
click
hear
on
you well.
margins, but here, what?
I can't hear you. Can't hear you well.
All of you have the same problem. All of you cannot hear me.
I can hear you now, but before something was like.
Okay. Abdullah, also you have a problem. Okay, so I will complete. So I said, what is the margin? The margin, the blank area around your page. Okay, so we can adjust it. If we want to make it 1 centimeter, we don't have here 1 centimeter in the pre-designed margin. So I will click on custom margins because I will write what I want. So I will make it 1, 1, 1. And we have here gutter. What is the gutter? The gutter is the place where you will fold your booklet or your document, okay? And of course, you can change the position of your gutter. You want to make the gutter or the folded area on the top, on the right, on the left. For example, the books which written on English, the gutter will be on left. But if you use an Arabic book or booklet, the gutter area will be on the right. Okay, you understand what is the meaning of gutter? The place where you fold or stick papers to each others. Okay, so we have margins, the blank area, and also the gutter if you want to make a gutter for your document. Okay, so now you can see the blank area becomes smaller because I make it only 1 centimeter. Custom margins, and we can change it to 2, for example, will be nice. And then I will for example, I want to make that text on my document to be 2 columns. I will select it, and we can click on more column and choose 2. And we will have here 2 things, the width of the column and the space between the columns. For example, I will make the space between the 2 columns 1 centimeter.
Miss?
Yes?
The page is not gone.
I can't see it either.
You can't what?
I can't see your screen.
Share? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Now we can see my screen share?
Yes.
Okay, so I will make the step which I did before. I make my text here from column, more column, and I choose 2 column, and then I adjust the space between 2 column. I will make it 1 centimeter. So you can see my text become. We can make more columns, and we can choose 3 columns, and also we can add a line between the columns like that. Okay, so this is the 4th thing you should know in page layout tab. At first we talk about size, orientation, margins, and column. The last thing which we will talk about it is called break. What is the break? For example, if we can find that page and I want to make that text to be on the next column, or that thing, I wanted to make it in the next column. How I can do it? We have a thing here in page layout is called break. In break, we have a column break if you want to move the text to the next column, and we have a next page if you want to move the text to the next page, and continuous, we can use it if we want to make different sections in the same page. For example, if you look at my notes, I will show it for you. Here we can find in some pages, I will show it for you, for example, in that one. You can see that part we have 2 columns and that part we have 1 column. How we can make it? If you want to make 2 columns and 1 column in the same page, we will use that one. Which one is called a continuous. In the same page, we can make more than one type of columns. You can make some of it one column and some of it two columns. And the same thing we can make like that. This two columns, and the next page we will make it one column. So if you want to make different columns in the same document, we can use the break. Okay. So in page layout tab, we talk about margins, orientation, size, columns, and breaks.
Yes.
Now we will talk. Yes.
I didn't understand the columns a lot.
Yes, I can explain it now again. We have in columns, you should know 3 types of columns in your service. The first type of column the first type of break is called column break. Column break, if we want to stop that paragraph here and move the other to the next column. For example, let's see. If I want to make that one to go to the next column, I will make it column break. Can you see? I stop here and the text move to the next column. I will make it for you one page to switch the text to, okay?
Okay.
For example, to stop and make the other in the next page. Okay, so I will use the page layout tab and I will choose next page. Now you can see everything
Like to put
is
the text
moved
in the next
to
page.
the next page. What?
Yeah.
Now you understand it?
Yes.
It's like what is the page break? It's like that you break your page. We have page break, so we finish that break and we will go to the next break, the next page. We have a column break, which we explain it now. We finish that column and we will go to the next column. And we have another type of break, which we say it's called the continuous break, that we can add on the same page. Some of the text will be one column and some of the text will be 2 or 3 columns, okay?
So this is like moving the texts?
Yes, it's look like moving text. If you remember, or some of persons who want, for example, if I want to move that text to the next page, they will use enter, enter, enter. Now they move it to the next page. But before, can you see now? I know that you press enter how from that thing. But if you look at the other one, can you see this point? This dot show me that you press on page break. Okay, so I can know if you press enter, enter, enter to move the text to the next page, or if you use the column break to move the text to the next column, or if you press enter, enter, enter to move the text to the next page. It's a way that you can adjust the documentation which you did it, but it will be easier for you. It's easier to press on page break and then page break, or you can use a shortcut key as Control Enter to make a page break or to go to the next page according to press enter, 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 enter to go to the next page. For example, if I say that this is the end of this text and this is another chapter, I want to go to the next page. What you will do before, you will press enter, enter, enter. No, you will not do that anymore. You will just press on Control Enter, and now you move the text to the next page. Okay, so it's a professional way to adjust your page and to adjust your documentation. Okay,
so we
understand
click break and we click next page.
Yes, so you can Sama, you wrote that you can't see anything. Sama, you can see my screen share? Okay. So as we said, the page break will help you to adjust your page if you want to finish. For example, if you are writing something about ICT, and the first chapter is about hardware and software. Now I finish writing about the first chapter, and I want to go to the next page to start the new chapter, chapter 2. Okay, as I told you before, you will do it. You will press enter, enter, enter to go to the next page. But today we learned a new way to go to the next page, which we call it page break, and you can use the shortcut key Control Enter. Okay. So
Okay.
today we explain some things we have on page layout tab, margins, the blank area around your page, orientation. We have two orientation, portrait and landscape, page size according to the size of the page which you will print on it, columns, the number of columns which you will use it in your page or your document, and the breaks. We talk about page break if you finish writing on that page, and also column break if you want to move the text to the next page,
Yes.
and continuous break if you want to move your text to the next column. We have also other types of breaks, but it's not in your syllabus. We have even page and odd page and text wrap. We have many things, but as I told you, I will explain what you have in your syllabus.
Yes.
Now, I will talk about another thing. I will talk about Insert tab. And in Insert tab, I will explain.
Miss Ray, can you please show the continuous?
What?
Can you please show the continuous?
Can you?
Can you please show the continuous break?
A continuous break, of course. For example, let's see that. Let's see. For example, if I find that if I want to move that text to the next column, you said you want me to show you the continuous break. That's right, or the column break continuous. Continuous. That's right. Okay, if I hear you well, so I will make the continuous break. In continuous break, I will add here a continuous break, okay? And I will change that one to 2 columns, for example, and I will make it. So now you can see that section is 3 columns and that section is 2 columns, okay? As I showed you before. Also, we can make that one. Can you see we have in the same page part as 3 sections, that section and that another section, and we have here a third section, but because I make a continuous break and I choose that section to be 2 columns, I make it as 2 columns, okay? So we can use a continuous break to make a different section in the same page. 1 column and 2 columns, 3 columns and 2 columns, as I did here. We have here 3 columns. You can see that is the line between the first and the second, and we have here an area for the third, but because we move the text to a new section and make it as 2 columns, we have 2 columns in the same document.
Yes.
We can, let's, for example, make that section as 1 column. Okay, so now you can see that as a 1 column and this as a 2 columns. I will add anything to show you that I have, can you see? I have 1 column and 2 columns in the same page. And make it, I can make it using the continuous
Miss.
section and 2 column and 3 columns, and how we can adjust it in our document. Yes, someone was asking.
Miss, question. Hello.
Okay, guys, do you want to ask about anything more?
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, of course.
What does these signs represent next to the text?
Okay, that sign you can, which you can find it. For example, here the dot means
No,
that
this
you press
one.
on your keyboard on space. That sign means that you press on enter on your keyboard. Can you see? For example, if I add here a space, it will add what? It will add dots. Can you see? When I add
Yes.
click on a space, it will add dots. Okay, but when I press here, and I will press on my keyboard on enter. Can you see what you will find? This means that you press on enter on your keyboard. So that sign show what you press on your keyboard. Okay, the dot means that you press on space, and that sign means that you press on enter. Okay, I will hide that things. Okay.
Okay.
So I explain. Really, I explain now half of our topics in Word. To finish our topics in Word, you will understand how we can insert picture, and also we can insert header and footer, and we will learn some things on Home tab like font type, font size, alignment, and line spacing, and also shading, and if you want to add a border to a text. That are all the topics in Word, which I will explain it for you. I started, and I'm sorry that I started with the hardest thing in your syllabus. Okay, the hardest thing, as I told you, is a break and column, and I hope that you understand it well. And I said that the column, we can use it to adjust or divide your text into columns, and you can adjust the space between the text. And also I explain the breaks, which is column and the next page and continuous. And as I said, continuous, we can use it to make different section in the same page. For example, section on page 1 column and another section on the page 2 columns. To make that, you can use the continuous break. But next page, we can use it to move your text to the next page. We finish that page and I want to go to the next page. And the column break, if I want to finish text on that column and I want to move that to the next column, I can use it. Other topics in our syllabus about Word is very easy.
Miss?
I can hear that someone is talking, but I didn't hear what he said.
Hello, Miss?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, question. Margins means like the empty space around the page?
Yes, the margins are the empty space on your page, around your page. But in the top margins and the bottom margins, we can write the header and footer. What is the header and footer? The thing which you will write and will appear on all pages. For example, if I will write here my name, I will write Aya. Okay, and I will close my header. You will find my name will appear on all pages. Okay, Aya. Aya. Okay, with everything you write it on the top margins and on the bottom margins will appear on all pages. Okay, for example, we can add here in the bottom the page number. So you can find that in the page 1, and here page 2, and here page 3. But the area where you will write is that area. But the area around your page, which will be blank or empty, we call it as margins. But as I told you, you can write in the top margins and bottom margins. But what you will write on the top and the bottom, you will find it and it will appear in all pages. And of course, we will learn how we can hide it in some pages or make it will not appear in some pages. everything we will learn it in our syllabus. So as you can see, ICT make you use your computer easily, and you can make and you can make which you will be appear as a professional make it, okay? And it will make you a general user. It will help you in any study. You will study it in any college. It will help you to use your computer and make you as a professional in using it. But as I told you, computer science is different, completely different. It builds you as a programmer, okay? So, yes.
Can you give an example of a margin in the page?
Yes, of course. I showed that here I want to make a page like that. In that page, you can find a lot of text is written. Okay, I will adjust the margin. When I want to make the margin large,
Miss, I can't hear you. I think something went wrong with your mic. Hello? Hello?
no?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, all of you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you. So all of you can hear me now. Thank you. Okay, so I was talking about that I will open another document and adjust our margins again. Okay, so adjust my margin. Now you can see here we have the margin 3, and now we can have the margins on right as 5 centimeter. Okay, so we can adjust the margins as you like it. We can make it again margins. If we make it, find it very large, we can adjust it to make all of it.
I can't see your screen.
Miss, the page is gone.
I can't hear you either.
Again,
Hello?
you can hear me? Yes. Who is saying that you can hear me? All of you can hear me? Or,
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, now I can hear you, yes.
Now you can? Okay. So I was talking about that we can adjust our margins, okay, to any size we want. Now I will show you our past papers, and I will start solve one of it. at first, you will open that file. Okay, I think that this one which we open it. Okay, set the page size to A4. So I will set the page size to A4. After that, set the page orientation to portrait. I will set the page orientation to portrait. And set the top, bottom, left, right margins to 2 centimeters. Okay, so I will adjust my margins to make it all of it 2 centimeters. And save the document with the new file name to your work area, and set the text to sans serif font. Okay, so at first I will save my file, and now we will talk about an important thing, that when you will save your file, you must change it to a Word document file, and I will save it on my desktop, and I will rename it as trial. Okay, now, yes.
So we should save it as Word document.
What?
We should save it as Word document.
Yes, of course, because as a Word document, we can save what we did on it. For example, when you will change the font type, when you will change the page, also what page break, everything you will do it in your document to save it and to keep it in your document, you must change it to a Word document, okay? Because RTF is a rich text file. We use it to store text, but it will not store many things on it. For example, if you make a page break or something like that, you will not find it saved, and when you will open your file again, you will find it different. Sometimes when I ask my students to make a homework, okay, and they forget to change it to a Word document or to be .docx. When they show me the homework, I ask them, you didn't add a picture, you didn't add just the margin. They said, no, we make it. But because they didn't store it or save it as a Word document, you will lose some of things which you make it on your document, okay?
Okay.
Now I will talk about another thing in our syllabus, which is called the font type. If I make my text now larger, if you look at each letter, you can find the strokes or small dash at the end of each letter. That type of font, we call it as the serif font. Serif font, any font you can find at the end of each letter, small dashes. But we have another type of font, we call it as the sans serif. Sans serif, it means that the text doesn't have most popular one is called Arial. Now you can see the end of each letter, you don't find on it a small dash. So now let's see our exam. Set all the text to a sans serif font. Set all the text to single line spacing. What is the line spacing? The space between the two lines. So I will return back to my document to its original, and it asked me to make all the font to be sans serif or serif. Let's see. Sans serif. And we said, what is the sans serif? The sans serif is the Arial text, but the serif font, which you can find at the end of each letter dash, the most popular one is Times New Roman. Okay, so it asked me to make it sans serif, so I will select all of my text and I will make it Arial. Okay, and also it asks you to make the line spacing single line spacing. What is the meaning of single line spacing, and what is the line spacing? The line spacing is the space between two lines. So I can adjust the line spacing from that one. And we have here 1, which is single, 2, which is double line spacing, and 3, which is triple line spacing. It asks me to make what? It asks me to make it single line spacing. So I will choose the line spacing to my text, okay? And I will choose 1 because it asks me to make it as a single line spacing, okay? So now, if I have time, of course, we can finish a lot of things in our syllabus. And as you can find, ICT is very easy and it helps you to use your computer well and use your programs easily, like Word, like Excel, like Access, like SharePoint, or front page. And it will help you to understand more about your computer, but how to use it. But it's not help you to understand how your computer work and what is the language of your computer. No, you can understand all of that in computer science. It will help you to understand what is the language of computer. For example, my language, I am Egyptian, so my language is Arabic. So I can talk easily and I can understand easily anyone talk in Arabic. But of course, if anyone live in France, for example, they talk their language in Germany, they talk Dutch or Germany. So it's not my language, I can't understand it. The same thing your computer, it has its own language. The language of computer is 0 and 1 only. Your computer cannot understand anything else 0 and 1 because your computer is a machine and it consists of switches. And so, of course, you know that in your switch you have 0 or 1. You can on or off your switch. You don't have a third option or a third choice. You can switch on your light or lamp or switch off your lamp. So your computer is a machine and its language is 0, 1. In computer science, it will help you how to convert anything to 0 and 1 and how you can talk to your computer and what is the language of computer, and you will learn a programming language like Visual Basic, and you will learn how you can program your computer and how you can create a program on your computer. So that is the main difference between the two subjects. And as I told you, according to your choice and your knowledge in math, you can, if you have or if you can make calculation easily without calculator, you can choose computer science. If you are looking for STAR, you can choose ICT. Okay, because you can get on it STAR easily. I hope that my session is clear. Was clear, and I hope that you understand the things which I explained in our session. And as I told you, this is one of the hardest topics in our ICT. Other topics is very easy because, as I told you, ICT help you to be a user, so it's not a complicated subject. It's a very easy subject. So if you want to ask me about anything before I'm going, you can ask me if you want to say anything. I'm hearing to you now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You really helped me to just choose which subject which I will choose in this session. Thank you.
I'm sorry, who is talking at first to know? Can you say Ahmed? Ahmed? Okay. Ahmed Zakaria. That's right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ahmed, can you say again what?
I was just saying thank you. Let me know the difference between ICT and computer science because I was just confused between them. I will discuss this with my father, then I will choose which side. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Who is talking now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. I was just thank you Thank you for having me. I'm just confused between computer science and ICT. I'll discuss it with my father, and I'll decide which session I'm taking, which subject.
Okay.
Miss,
Any other student want to say anything before I'm leaving?
Goodbye.
Miss,
Yes.
I have a question. Just last
Yeah.
question. In breaks, we should in Microsoft Word, we should know like how to make it like we should know that in continuous. In columns, we can change the text to the column, or in the next page we change it to next page, or continuous, like it becomes to another section, right?
Yes, right. As you said, in column, you can move the text to the next column. Page, you can move the text to the next page, but continuous, you can make another section in the same page. So you understand it well.
We
Do you
can
want
make
to
another section and move the text to the another section.
Yes, of course, but the other section in the same page. For example, we can make the first two sentence or two lines in the page as one column. You can make it as a section, and then if you want to make or complete your text as a two columns, how you can do it? You can do it using the continuous break, because it helps you to make different sections in the same page. Okay.
So like we make like we divide it into columns and we consider it to be sections, and we can move the text by clicking breaks and continuous, right?
Yes. Yes, of course. Or you have another way, if you can find a continuous break as hard or hard for you, you can select the text which you want to make it as two columns. For example, you want to select 3 paragraphs. You can select it using your mouse and make it as 2 columns. But I try to help you to be professional in using Word, not as a general user. Okay. So everything you can do it using many ways, like page break. You can press enter, 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 and you will have the same things that you will move to the next page. Okay, but I just told you a way to use your computer and to use Microsoft Word as a professional. But anything you can do it using many ways. Okay.
Okay, so like I'm good in this thing, right?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Right. You're welcome. Okay, Sama. I find that you like that our session, and Abdullah Hatem also. Shahd, you say Miss only. Do you want to say anything, Shahd and Nuran? Thank you. Okay, you're welcome, Nuran. Shahd, you want to say anything? Okay, so all of you finish your questions to me. Can I leave you, or you want anything more? Okay, have a nice day, you also. Thank you.
If it's your first time here and you're interested, please feel free to check our website and Facebook page for more information. Don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. All links and application form are in the description. Thank you.